This is Justin AMZN on Wednesday, September 5th, 2018. Today, we had some pre-market activity that was right in line with yesterday's aftermarket and yesterday's close. So the price that we're at pre-market right before the open is basically right on where we had closed on Tuesday, yesterday. So this is some lower highs, this is some higher lows, and now we're at the same spot. Technically, we broke down after hours in pre-market, retested, and we should see an S-curve lower, or this is just something you can ignore, and it's, we're right at a resistance, right at support, maybe it'll pull back a little bit, flash down, and then rally on higher, or just break out from here. Right here, you do have an even star reversal. You've got a breakout above this 2040 level, which is right around where the close was, and everything is moving on up, moving bullish after this retest here. This is, the retest we're looking for down here. I'm sorry, the value I was looking to get filled down here. We'll get another retest here, retest here, retest here, and these just keep on pushing up. I drew this uptrend line in here, and I can zoom out a little bit to show you where's that, but it was crossing a point here, somewhat crossing one here, and then there was a cross here at a resistance and a support. I'm sorry, at a old resistance, new support, and now another support. And so all these things are saying to me, it really should bounce if it comes down to here, or it should go higher. So let's step into the day, and we have a very massive bearish candle, much stronger than, or much longer candle, around 15 bucks, 17 bucks, in a very quick 5 minutes, and a very similar volume to the last couple of days at the open. So, imagine this is people taking profits, locking in gains. It's another all-time high here after a consolidation. We had a consolidation during the day. Now it's a breakdown, and it actually took out yesterday's low. It did actually open up a little below where we were looking. So this even reversal here, pre-market, is actually playing out really well. Had you gone in bearish here, 2038, let's just say 2038 for some hours, 2038 by 2041, that's $3. So that's an R. This is a lot of R's to get all the way down here. That's just the stock. So we're only 5 minutes in. We'll go through this a little faster. Retest, breakdown again, but it recovered. This is somewhat of a reversal candle with the upper wick here. It's bearish. It's going to turn around. So it's like we put in 2 bounces here. We haven't even closed below this level, and then we do. And we do it again with a very strong candle, increased volume, slightly smaller range than the opening candle, but we're 25 minutes in the market and we've got this major move down. Okay, how much further could it really go from here? This is just a little pullback. It'll bounce from here, or it'll bounce to this level. So I drew this line in for the video. That's our next indecision candle there, and then it takes that one out. It's like, wow, every 5 minutes it's been doing something, taking it on another level. It's just crazy. Not supposed to act this way. Well, exactly that. This is the bullish mindset. It's not supposed to go down yet. I didn't get my order set up, so this was really difficult to trade unless you had something set up with where the levels were and where they opened. And it's possible, but it's it's just a little hard to do. So we'll take a look. But here's another candle, breaks down in here, bounced around, high wave candle way down here. That's great. And then we start to recover, and then we don't, and we're back down some more. It's like, okay, every signal, it's like, okay, here's a recovery, here's a move, nope, continue on down. Here's an inside candle, nope, continuing down. So we get into the 1990s here, and it starts to bounce. That was a nice move, but I didn't have any lines down here to say, oh yeah, there it is, except this inside, and then I guess a bullish break there with a stop here. But then it could have just stopped here, and it did actually stopped right here and then rolled over again. So here's another reversal candle, and this one with the trigger bit would have been 1-to-1 down to here, and then like 3-to-1 down to here. But nothing really clear to say, oh yeah, it's definitely going there. And as you can see, it just got moved around. Now I'm starting to see, some lower highs, some higher lows here. So this is just a waiting game to figure out, okay, what are we gonna do? This ends up moving up here. Let's see what up here. Yeah. So this moves up, breaks out on this candle. This is a nice strong candle breaking out above resistance here, and actually kind of looks like inverted head and shoulders. Neckline, breakout, retest, and then runs up to this resistance. So you could have traded up to there, but it would have been a really small gain from here by here. So that's a little more than an R. I'll show you what's going with the options there. But anyway, now it's just rolling over from this resistance again. So now this level that was support is now acting as resistance here, resistance here, resistance here, and we'll roll over again. And that ends up being what happens. It rolls over again, comes on down, jumps around, breaks down again, comes down to the next level almost down at 1990. And then, there we go, it actually touched there, I think. 1990-20. Okay, doesn't quite, let's see. Okay, it did on that candle. And this was 1989-89. So there you go. 11 cents through and then bounced in the very final few minutes of the day. So anyway, that's how the day moved. Major pullback, not even a major pullback. I shouldn't even say that. Pulled back into this range that we were trading in. That's what it did. Hang on just a sec if I can get this to work. Hang on. So today's trade, today's movement was definitely bearish. There was a few places that it bounced bullish, but the bearish movement was, breakdown from the triangle up here, retracement. You can see in the daily that we, oops, didn't have the daily ready. Sorry about that. We had a slight gap down, just a typical opening gap, and then a pullback that broke through all these levels here and actually came really close to coming back down to the low here. I thought it was going to come back down into the 5, but just kind of pulled. It did actually bounce through here at one point. The 5 was around like 203, and it was bouncing there and then moved back up and then rolled over again. I think that was, let's see, where was that? 203. No, I think it was here. Yeah. So it was like this. Came in 203. Yeah, so it bounced there. That was the first real bounce from a bearish move. I mean, it did pull back here and then break through this. So I'm going to get rid of this line already. Subtrend line. And then these lines were drawn in today off of yesterday. Watch this during the day. Just see, okay, this was a key pivot yesterday. We got through it again here, broke down, but then we came back into it here. This is a great place to short. Just looking for the right risk reward, and I was looking for a little more of a pause here, similar to this. But this is, this here was starting to look a little more bullish without that line, thinking it was going to push through because it had just rallied all the way through this. Similar move from here to here, did again here to here, but didn't happen. It ended up rolling over, retesting that, and then roll over again even more. So I could have got it in here, going bullish above these two candles. These two, let's see, tweezer-ish. Yeah, 11 cents off tweezer. And then again here, these two, 28 cents off tweezer. So another tweezer here. So kind of back-to-back tweezers, but this is also looking like a double top. So if I don't do this too often, but on the 3-minute, and just look right in here. So this one, yeah, this is really hard to see a double top. Let's try the 1 minute. Don't typically have the 1 minute on at this point of the day. Double top, kind of triple top, something like that. It just gets really hard to, see this all happening. Here's a consolidation, breakdown, retest, breakdown, retest, breakdown. This is a falling 3 or falling 2, but rest after bow. That's what I'm going for. Another tweezer-ish top, retest back up to this level. So a number of things you can see on smaller candles. But come back to the 5 minute here, which we usually look at. This candle, any of these candles with the large upper wick that reversed would have been a great place. Even this one, where we had a very small candle, and then we didn't get above it. We wicked below. At this point, it's like, okay, just trade that candle. Here's a breakdown, you know. But I mean, you wouldn't have been able to do that until like crossed below this, and there's a little bit more retested, so you could have it still set up and then a rollover, and that would have worked really well, like off of this one here. So we can look, and I haven't done this in a while. Let me try and zoom out. Where's the restore? There we go. So if we go look at the options, so I wanted to show. Actually, I want to show a little more. Sorry. I want to show yesterday's prices and today's. So here's yesterday's. We pulled back here. So the call got smaller, the put got bigger. We rallied. We're seeing that same rally on the call and losing value on the put, and then losing value through all of this in here, and this went sideways, losing value on the put, and then a breakout bullish, and that was a breakout. This was a really great place to get in, or this, down here, small candles. Well, then today, with these being places we're interacting with, you come over to these candles. This is a bit of a, let's see, this one now. This one was kind of retesting a breakdown and then rolled over. This pullback, still would have been too large a risk for 100. But looking at the range here, it opened within that range, and maybe a $200 risk in this case. But if plan's 100, it's not really working with the 2025 put to do that. For the calls, they were just losing value. They got bought up a little bit, then rolled over, and just kept putting in resistances. Even this retest didn't quite get as far up as here, or maybe into here. Yeah, not even there either. So very bearish day. I really do like that we had some of an S-curve breakdown and then a slower S-curve way back up here and then a rollover. With some quick moves intermixed, there were opportunities. So even through here, these puts are around 25 bucks, that could have gone up a little more. Now, if I switch over to the 2000, look at this. Now for the 2000s, I guess in here, yep, there you go, in here, that could work better. And then it was in here. This could have worked with a breakout or just coming on a retest. And that's just ended up rallying through the day. So there were definitely some R's to be made here during the day. And we even had a double top, a little bit wider, and then a pause, which is a retest, and then a breakdown. So that was another place that you could have been buying right through here with puts for a little bit of a move. That would have worked. And if you don't see the risks, let me maximize this one now. There we go. All right, so these, if you're not seeing the risk reward, then, just go out a little bit more. Let's go look at the 1990 put. And it may not be that much better, but okay, we're talking like these candles. I'm looking at high and low. That would have been really close. So like 1050 by 950 here. Bracket trade, that would have been our risk. And that broke out if it filled right away. Maybe it didn't, maybe it did. And got that, then take it up to previous resistance. So in at 1050, out at 14. So 3.5 hours. Do something like that late in the day. Just being patient after this all happened. So come back in here to the 5. We're pretty low here. We did hold this support at 1990, good low. It's a really good line to have in here. And, this was, because it gapped down, it opened and closed below the previous day's close. So it's technically a one black crow candle that looks like it could push things a little bit lower again. So pretty big candle. We've had plenty of these. This is a high wave candle here. Increase in volume, but you know, we still have to wait to see. Are we going to rally out of this? Or are we going to pull back a little more, then rally? You know, is this going to be a new range? And we can go back and look for candles that I've got on here where we actually made a new all-time high with a bullish candle and then gap down for a bearish gap and go. And maybe we want to backtrack a little bit more because I'm not seeing one, especially after a quick run-up like that, you know. All right, we've had a few run-ups like that. Anyway, lost a little momentum on the bullish swing, and I'm sorry, bullish swing on the bullish trend, and doesn't mean it's going to reverse, but it's definitely a little more cautious, and you know, just that kind of move. So if it actually pauses for a little bit, give it a month, pulls back, something like that, you know, it should come back down to one of these lines and kind of consolidate and then bounce. That's bigger picture, shorter term picture. You were down so much here. People may be thinking, oh, it's a great buy opportunity. You actually go down a little further. You may come into 1925. Nice round number again. So we'll see what happens. We've definitely breaking down from a bullish trend. We're kind of establishing a bearish on the 5, maybe. This goes a little more sideways than this. I don't know, just like this trend angle. Bullish trend angle on the 5 minute. So, but clearly, you know, we're making lower highs, we're putting in some lower lows, and a bigger pullback is totally possible, or a rally is totally possible. If people are thinking, oh, I need to do some position, like getting out, or you know, trying to stop, well, their stop would be hit, and that may run. And so, you know, even if you want to have an order set up a little bit out of the money, catch the right amount of risk, totally doable. But we will continue to take a look and see how things are going to move here, or at least how things did move during the day today with the intraday candle, intraday trading, and seeing this massive, what looks like a massive move. There are definitely R's to be made. Had you been buying puts, like the 1990 puts at open, you know, bigger risk. And once it's settled down, trading that candle from 5x4 up to, you know, 15 maybe. That's TAR. And then if we look at, well, that was really the only example I have where this was a buck. If we do end up looking at this one, and the candle's a little bit bigger, the range is a little bit bigger. Yeah, it's really close to a buck already. It's like, I'd really like to use $100. So, you know, you could put a trade in, bullish here, fair share, and would have only been a few R, but having a really tight candle like that and moving way up like that, those are my like 10R trades, 10R plus trades. So, so we can find some of those ahead of time, so we can get them in our burgers and plans. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoy the video. This is just AMZN. Thanks.